Welcome back to Detail Garage. Today we're doing a full interior detail on this Lexus IS300. Now this car interior is one of the worst ones we've ever seen in the Detail Garage. It's full of anything you can throw at it. There's garbage inside, all kinds of dirt, debris, hair, body oils, and all kinds of filth and garbage throughout the entire vehicle. So the leather upholstery, the carpet, the door panels, the dashboard, the center console, everything is absolutely trashed. Now we have a full day of work ahead of us just to make this interior up to par. As bad as this car is, we all either have a friend who drives a car like this, and if you don't have a friend, then you are that friend driving that car. So we're gonna show you all the tips, tricks, and the products we're gonna use to get the best results and to restore the inside of this Lexus so it looks brand new. So we're gonna go through all the steps, show you all the different types of cleaners, protectants, and dressings, as well as all the accessories like brushes and towels that we're gonna use to make this car look absolutely mint. So we're on to the first step of the interior detail on this Lexus. Now this is a really big job, got a lot of work to do, so I got my buddy Nick here from the store. He's gonna help me out, and we're gonna do the whole interior of this car really quick. So the inside of this car is really disgusting, as you see in some of the photos that we've shown you. So it's kind of like a biosafety level like 3. So like we need to like suit up and not get in contact with any of the stuff that's inside the car. So just opening it up, the first thing that we need to do on this detail is we need to just throw out the garbage. There's tons of just trash all over the car. Like if you come inside here, like on the driver's seat, we have some used napkins. We got water bottles all over the inside of the car. We have some iced coffee drinks that have seen way better days. So we're going right over here into the chemical guy's trash can. So we're just gonna start by throwing out tons of trash from the inside of the car. We spoke with the owner of the vehicle and they want us to save some things. So any sort of food items that are not going to perish, they want us to save. So actually, if you look like over here underneath the floor mats, we have like right underneath like the trunk release, we have sugar packets. And if you look in the door, we have dozens of sugar packets. They're all over the whole inside of the car. So they want us to save some things like this. They want us to save anything else that is sealed, but older water bottles, older soda cans and whatnot, they're okay with us throwing out. Some other items you want to save would be any of my personal items from the customer. So things like these sunglasses, obviously I'm not going to throw these out because these are valuable. So I'm going to keep it for the customer. Nick and I are just going to go through the car really quick, sort everything into bags just so we don't throw out anything we're not supposed to. So we're done with the initial getting rid of all the garbage from the car. And if you look inside, you see just by throwing away the trash and sorting through all the paperwork, the car's actually looking a lot better already. But we still have a long way to go. There's all kinds of dirt and sand, leaves and things embedded in the floor mats. The seats are full of body oils and they feel really sticky. And the steering wheel, you can actually see the layer of dirt on the steering wheel. You can see how I'm removing that with my nail. So that's not supposed to be there. This wheel's supposed to be black like that. You can see that that's where it gets held all the time, and all just the oils from your body and your hand end up on the wheel. So it's supposed to look something like this. So the whole car kind of looks like this steering wheel. So just to get started with a deeper cleaning on the interior, we're gonna vacuum. So I have a big shop vac right here. I got a big, large, extra large tank here, which we're gonna need because Nick and I are gonna vacuum out this car and just fill up these vacuums with all kinds of stuff. So generally, I like to start just by vacuuming the floor mats in the car first. Then I'll go ahead and take them out and then vacuum up the carpet underneath the floor mat. I'm gonna vacuum under the seats. I'm gonna be switching between a large flat blade vacuum attachment and the thin thin blade to reach into all the crevices between the seat, the center console, along the rails, door cards, all these different areas on the inside of the cars. So we're done vacuuming the car. We picked up all the loose dirt and debris from the floor mats, from inside the door cards and the plastics and everywhere else in the vehicle. Now we're going to move on to cleaning things like the dashboard, the door panels, around the steering wheel and the center console. There's a lot of like spilled soda in the center console. There's a lot of ground in and grimy dirt and mess all over places like this. Normally on a car, when it's not too dirty, I would recommend that you just clean the inside with the quick detail spray for interiors, inner clean. This car is kind of beyond what inner clean can do, so we really need to cut through heavy like soda and like really thick garbage and things like that all over the center console. So we're gonna bump up to Nonsense. Nonsense is an all-purpose cleaner that has no color and no odor, so it doesn't have any heavy perfumes or really noxious smells like a heavy-duty low-end sort of like a degreaser would. It's a all-purpose cleaner which is safe to use on things like plastic, upholstery, fabric, exterior parts of the car, engine bays, even leather if you dilute it enough. Nick and I are going to use Nonsense to wipe down everything that's not leather on the interior. So we're going to work on the dashboard, center console, the doors, all over the place. So we're going to leave the leather for something else, and we actually have Nonsense already diluted. So we diluted it 15:1 for this job in a professional spray bottle. So this will give us a lot of product in just a few sprays. So we're just going to spray down our towels and then wipe down the surface. I still don't want to spray directly on things like the dashboard and get it all over the glass or all over things that might be more sensitive, like the instrument cluster or on leather, things like that. So Nick and I are gonna wipe down the whole interior with Nonsense. We're gonna show you just how dirty these yellow towels get. So now Nick and I are done wiping down all the plastics, all the dashboard, the door panels, center console, and like the ashtray in the back seat. The car's looking and smelling and feeling a lot better. The big elephant in the room though to take on is the leather. So things like the seats, the steering wheel feel very sticky. They look very dirty. It's just not a good time. So we're gonna take care of all the leather. First thing we have to do is just clean it. So we're gonna use leather cleaner. Now, leather cleaner has no color, no odor, safe to use on all types of leather, on natural leather hide or sealed leather, which newer automobiles come with. This comes full strength. I can use this at full strength on very dirty leather, like what we have here. So I'm gonna use it full strength on this car. I can dilute this up to 6:1 if I'm working with leather that's more sensitive or leather that's just not as dirty. So I'm pairing this up with the horsehair leather cleaning brush and a workhorse microfiber towel. You notice that on the door panels and everything, we were using yellow towels. I like to use yellow just to make sure I'm not wiping up any dyes or anything like that from any materials. I can see the dirt that I'm pulling off, and I can tell if I'm done with the cleaning process or if I need to do more work. On leather, I like to keep it straight just so I'm not going to mix it up, put any wax or polish or wheel grime on leather. I'm going to use tan towels so the color coding helps me avoid any cross-contamination between parts of the car. So you can see this leather steering wheel. It's probably supposed to be this black color, and everything's looking kind of gray. So the dirt is definitely thick, stuck on all over the steering wheel. That's just from body oil, that's from using the car, that's from touching the wheel every day. So we're going to take that off using leather cleaner. Just spray it on the brush. I'm actually going to spray it right here on the center of the wheel. This is very dirty. I'm not too worried about getting this anywhere. Leather cleaner is gentle, so it's safe to use inside any car. I'm not going to cause any stains. I'm not going to damage any surfaces. I'm getting good cleaning results. Let's see where I'm at so far. Yeah, this is severely damaged interior pieces. We have, as we were cleaning, we noticed things like paint starting to peel off all over the center console. So this center part of the steering wheel is probably a vinyl that's painted. We're seeing a lot of that paint rub off and scrub off. So I'm going to focus now. Instead of using the brush, I'm just going to take the towel, and I'm going to use the microfiber towel to clean off the steering wheel. So I'll mist the towel directly. Come up here on the wheel. Just scrub all this thick gunk and garbage off the wheel. I'll come in from both sides just to make sure I'm really cleaning all the way around the wheel. And you can see, even on this tan towel, all the contamination that we're pulling off. So the entire wheel is like that. So now we're checking out the leather seat of the car, and you can see every seat panel has thousands of these little tiny holes. Now these, on my perforations, just help to vent the surface. It helps to wick away sweat from the driver. It just helps to keep the driver or the passengers cooler as they sit on the leather surface for a longer period of time. Leather itself doesn't really breathe. It's actually a very good insulator. So if you're sitting on that for hours on end on a long trip, it can get very, very hot, very uncomfortable. So manufacturers put these tiny holes all over the surface just to help it breathe. A lot of people ask questions about how they should approach detailing this type of surface because they don't want the leather cleaners or the leather conditioners to soak through these holes and ruin the foam that the seat is actually made out of. So I'm just going to show you how to deal with a surface like this. So instead of saturating the surface directly with a cleaner, I'm just going to take my brush, the horsehair brush, spray it on the brush instead. This will give me plenty of power so I can still scrub it across the surface. And you can see this froth, this foam that I'm generating here. This is exactly what we want. This is all the oils and contamination being lifted out from the leather, from the pores of this leather skin, right? Because leather is skin off of an animal. So we're pulling all this contamination and body oil out from these pores, and it's suspending in the cleaner. Now I'll take my towel and wipe up all this mess. So bam, right there you can see all the gray and all the black on the towel. That was all the body oils and filth that was stuck in the seat. That's only after the first pass. I can still feel there's a lot more work that needs to be done on these seats. We really have our work cut out for us on this car. So first we're going to take care of all the perforated leather and all the solid level panels around the car. We have 5 seats to clean in this car, plus the headrest, so we got a lot of work to do. One more tool that I can use to clean leather, besides this horsehair brush made for leather, I like to use sort of a parts cleaning brush, a detailing brush, to take care of other parts around the car. So we actually came out with this brand new brush. This is called the Best Detailing Brush. It's made out of heavy duty plastic, and it's a softer material than using wood or metal. So the ferrule you see on a lot of brushes is made out of metal, but if you knock into something like leather, you might tear it, or you might chip paint or damage wheels if you're cleaning certain parts with a brush like this. This one has a soft ferrule made out of plastic, so I'm not going to damage anything even if I hit it with a brush. So the brush itself is very durable, but it's soft and it's not going to damage anything around the car. Plus I have a very thick tuft of bristles. These are boar's hair bristles, so they're very strong. They're resistant to chemicals, but they're gentle on things like leather or paint and wheels, so I'm not going to damage any of these parts. I like to use one of these brushes just for interiors, then I use another one just for wheels, so I never mix and match them. So to clean the seat, I'll spray right into the brush, and I'll spray down this leather panel here. Same thing as before. I'm just going to scrub it down and get this foamy agitation here to pull out all this dirt. So this is a great brush to use. You see how stiff these bristles are, and they really make scrubbing down this whole panel easy. This is like the perfect brush for this job. So agitate all this out. Set the brush down. Then again, I'm going to go to a dry side here so you can see the difference on this panel. So right away, that's looking very crisp, very new, and all the dirt is now on the towel. So your leather's supposed to look crisp and matte, not shiny and greasy like the rest of these seats look. So Nick and I are going to continue on. We're going to take care of all the seats, all the leather throughout the car. This steering wheel is going to pose a very big challenge for sure, so we really got to press on. After we clean the leather, then it's going to come time to condition it and to protect it, nourish the skin, to restore a soft, supple feel. So we're on the final stretches on the full interior detail on this Lexus. Now Nick and I went ahead, we cleaned all the leather, we cleaned the steering wheel, we cleaned the seats, the back seats, the armrests, and all the door panels. Now we need to protect the leather. So remember that leather is skin. It was once the skin on an animal. So once you clean it, it's going to be dry, it's going to be beaten from the sun, it's going to have UV damage and abrasion and all kinds of things. So you need to nourish the skin, you need to protect it, you need to put lotion on it. So for that, we're going to use leather conditioner for the seats, then we're going to use leather serum for the parts that the driver will touch, like the steering wheel. Now the difference between these two is leather conditioner and leather serum both finish with a dry to the touch feel, so they're not going to be greasy. They both help to nourish the leather to restore a soft, supple feel that won't be slick and it won't be sticky or anything like that. Leather serum finishes with a more crisp, more matte look, and it has more UV protection. So it's going to do a better job protecting leather over a long period of time. Leather conditioner will really nourish it, make it feel nice and soft, and it'll leave it looking a little bit shinier. It's still not enough that it'll look like how the seats looked when they were really dirty, but it'll be a little shinier than leather serum. So the driver, the owner of the car, wanted a little bit more of a wet look on the seats and we advised him that he's going to want a very crisp, dry to the touch feel on the steering wheel. This part is always seeing the sun. You can already see there's a lot of sun damage on the top of the wheel already, but if we protect it with leather serum now, the rest of the wheel will have a chance to stay nice and soft and to keep the leather intact over a long period of time. So I'm going to get started by putting some leather serum on the steering wheel. Now, the workhorse lineup of microfiber extends to the applicator pads as well. I'm going to use the tan workhorse applicator pad for leather to apply the protection on the car. So I'm going to take the serum and just give a couple small dots on the pad. I'm just going to spread it out on the applicator itself. So now when I rub it in to the leather, I'm not going to have any excess. I'm not going to waste any product. I'll apply very neatly as well. So I'm spreading it over every leather piece. Right. So I've worked the leather serum into the leather on the steering wheel, and the leather soaked it right up. You can tell that this leather was very, very dry and it needed to be conditioned and protected. So just to make sure we have a very dry to the touch feel, I don't want any slippery feel, I'm going to buff it off really well on the microfiber towel. That way, when the driver gets in the car and starts to drive, he's not going to slip off the wheel. He's not going to get any greasy feel on his hands, get it on the stick, on the shift knob or on the handbrake or anything. And you know, we're not going to increase the risk of any accidents or anything like that just from cleaning the leather steering wheel. It's okay to condition parts like the steering wheel or the shift knob. You just want to really make sure you do a good job removing any excess, so you have a nice, crisp, dry feel on the part. There you go. So now this wheel feels very smooth, feels very crisp and clean, like it should. It's how it originally felt from the factory. It doesn't look very shiny or greasy, so this is exactly the look and the feel that we're going for. So now we're on to the perforated leather seats. A lot of people ask about how they can detail all of the areas that are perforated without ruining the foam underneath with the either leather serum or leather conditioner cream. Now there's a really easy trick to use when you're dressing these areas so you don't damage any of the foam underneath, and you can still condition and protect the leather so it can last you for years to come. So I'm just going to get the leather conditioner, shake it up. I'm just going to put a couple lines on my applicator pad, and rather than go ahead and spreading it out with these big fat lines, I'm just going to spread it across the whole applicator pad. I'm going to kind of smear it into the microfiber itself. So now, when I go and spread it over the surface, I don't have any fat globs, I don't have any blobs that are going to saturate through the perforations and ruin any foam core of the seat. You can see that that spread very evenly and very quickly. I had no problems. Work it into the leather, just like lotion on your skin. Work it in. And the seat is naturally starting to smell like leather again. The leather conditioner is actually nourishing the leather, and it's replacing all the essential oils and nutrients that the leather was missing. So now it's really smelling like natural, brand new leather again. I'll take my clean workhorse microfiber towel. And right now, since I'm buffing it off, I mean, I'm hardly removing anything. The leather was very, very thirsty. Just drank this stuff up right away. You can see the seat looks a whole lot better just in this one part that I put the leather conditioner on. So now the seat feels nice and smooth, nice and soft, but the leather itself is actually nourished again. You see up here where we haven't nourished it yet, we haven't reconditioned it, it's very stiff, and the leather feels, it's like starting to crack and all these problems because it's not conditioned. And down here, it's nice and supple again, it's nice and soft. So we're gonna continue on. Nick and I are gonna go ahead and condition all the leather throughout the car. We're gonna use the leather conditioner on the seats, and probably on the door panels. We're gonna go ahead and do the leather serum because we really wanna have sort of like a different look across the seats and the door panels. See you in a minute. So moving on to one of the final steps on the detail, we're gonna clean the floor mats. Now these floor mats have seen way better days. In case you can't tell, they're supposed to be black. So all this grayness in it, that's all this dirt and things that have been ground in by the driver's feet and heels when they're working the pedals. So to help take care of some of this stuff, I'm gonna use a couple different all-purpose cleaners to clean out the stains and extract all the dirt from this carpet and from the fabric. I'm also gonna use a powerful brush. Now, this carpet is fairly durable, heavy-duty carpet, so I can use a more aggressive brush on a drill attachment to help scrub out and agitate all this contamination to really get a deep, thorough cleaning on the floor mats. So to get started, I'm gonna try first some nonsense. So I'm gonna use the nonsense full strength just because these carpets are very, very gross. So I'm just gonna give it a couple quick sprays in this area here. So I'm gonna let that sit for a quick second while I tell you about the drill brush. So the drill brushes come in 3 different shades, 3 different colors. We have a red one that's a good soft medium duty one. Yellow one is very aggressive. That's for scrubbing extremely heavy duty carpet or even concrete. And we also have a very soft drill brush attachment that is gray. This is very forgiving, very soft. I can even scrub leather seats with this brush, very sensitive carpets or upholstery. For this rug, I'm gonna go with a medium duty brush, the red one, just so it's middle of the road. And I can test out this drill just to see what kind of results I get. So I've attached it onto the chuck of the drill, so it's a nice solid bond. It's not gonna spin off. There we go, I'm gonna scrub down the carpet. So I went ahead and I scrubbed down this little bit of the carpet, and as I blot out all the contamination with this yellow microfiber towel, you can see just how dirty that carpet really was. You can see all that nastiness that we pulled out, and when I show you the piece that's nice and dry already, you can see the carpet was actually black. So I need to do a little more work. I'm gonna try some lightning fast stain extractor for the heavier duty stains, especially right here on the rug. You can see where the driver's heel presses in when they're working the brake and the gas pedal. It's grinding the carpet flat here actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and try lightning fast some areas like this where the dirt is very thick, very heavy. See if I can pull off this contamination, make this rug look brand new. See you in a few minutes. So you can edit this to make it look good, right? Now we're on to the final step of this full interior detail of this Lexus. Right now, I need to clean off the optical plastic that the driver looks at every day. So I need to clean off all the fingerprints, dust, and grime from the instrument panel and from the navigation screen on the car. So the trick to getting a streak-free look on any glass or clear optical plastic or mirror is to use 2 towels. As long as you use a high-quality glass cleaner, like the Chemical Guy's Signature Series glass cleaner, you can take care of any dirt, debris, or fingerprints quickly and easily. But if you use 2 towels, you get a perfect streak-free look every time. So the trick, I'm not gonna spray the cleaner right on these parts. I'm on the inside of the car. I don't wanna get any cleaner getting behind the gauge cluster or in any spots I don't want it to. I'm just gonna mist the towel instead. And once I have enough cleaner on the towel, I'm gonna come down and do the screen first. I'm just gonna wipe off any fingerprints or any contamination from the navigation screen. There we go, it's nice and clean. Now that I have all the dirt removed, I'm gonna use the second clean and dry towel to buff off any streaks and any remaining cleaner and dirt from the glass, from this screen. And now you see I have a perfectly cleaned screen Believe me, there's no streaks on that at all. I'm gonna do one more part. I'm just gonna do the instrument cluster right here in the car. And a couple more sprays of glass cleaner. Come in here, reach around the wheel, just wipe off this clear optical plastic. Now you need to be really careful whenever you clean plastic windows or clear optical plastic like what is on this instrument cluster, or if you're ever working on, say, a helicopter or an airplane and you're cleaning the plexiglass windows on those vehicles are very sensitive to abrasion, and if you use the wrong type of towel, if you use like a terry cloth towel or a dirty rag, or even if you're using good microfiber but you have a lot of dirt and garbage on the towel, just by wiping the plexiglass with those materials, you can actually scratch them and cause a lot of damage that's very easy to see when you're driving or flying into the sun. It kind of lights up the whole windshield. You can't have that, so you need to be very careful when you're cleaning those sensitive areas. So there you go. You see how fresh and clean this interior really is starting to look all around the car. Got to final few touches. I had to put the floor mats back in. I got to get the seats back up and squared away, but we're basically done with this interior detail. So now we're done with the full interior detail on this Lexus. It's looking, feeling, and smelling a million times better. First things first, me and Nick threw out all the garbage, we vacuumed out all the trash, then we went ahead, cleaned the leather, cleaned the plastics, cleaned the door cards, then we conditioned and restored the soft touch, a nice supple feel on all the leather and the plastics. If you like this video, go ahead, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel to learn about all the latest tips and tricks on how to detail just about anything. You got a nice car? Let's keep it clean with Chemical Guys.